In boxing, skill wins rounds, but power rewrites history. Some punches don't just land, they detonate, changing careers, altering legacies, and sending shockwaves through the sport. We're not talking about textbook jabs or flashy footwork. We're diving into the most dangerous, bone-rattling punches ever thrown. From Foreman's thunderclap right to Tyson's neck-snapping uppercut, these are the fists that folded champions, silenced arenas, and became part of boxing folklore. This isn't just about who hit hardest. It's about how they hit and the chaos they left behind. Brace yourself, because once these punches land, nothing is ever the same again. George Foreman's short right hand. When it comes to pure, unfiltered destruction inside the ring, George Foreman's short right hand is in a league of its own. This wasn't just a punch, it was a thunderbolt disguised in leather. In 1973, Foreman used it to turn the feared and undefeated Joe Frazier into a rag doll, dropping Smokin' Joe 3 times in the opening 2 rounds in a display of savage, blunt force trauma. Foreman's short right was deceptive in its delivery, tight, compact, and utterly devastating. It didn't need a wind-up. It didn't need drama. It simply detonated. With that punch, Foreman announced himself as a nightmare heavyweight, capable of ending world-class resistance in seconds. Joe Frazier's left hook. Then there's Joe Frazier's left hook, arguably the most iconic in boxing lore. It's the punch that floored Muhammad Ali in the 15th round of their legendary 1971 clash at Madison Square Garden. It was a left hook forged in fire, thrown with the torque of a rolling freight train, refined through years of grinding forward motion. Frazier's hook wasn't just powerful, it was perfectly timed, sneaking past guards, crashing into jaws, and turning fights on their head. In a sport filled with heavy hands and flashy combos, Frazier's left hook was boxing's great equalizer, relentless, punishing, and unforgettable. Earnie Shaver's overhand right. Earnie Shaver's overhand right wasn't just a punch, it was a seismic event. Known as the Acorn due to his shaved dome, Shaver's packed perhaps the hardest single-shot power boxing has ever seen. He notched 68 knockouts in 74 wins, and many of those came courtesy of that terrifying overhand right. Opponents didn't just get hit, they got erased. Larry Holmes, who somehow survived a Shaver's bomb in their 1979 bout, later said it felt like getting hit with a sledgehammer. Shaver's didn't need a combination or a setup. One right hand, clean, and it was lights out. It was the kind of punch that made even elite fighters second-guess every jab they threw. Mike Tyson's uppercut. Then we have Mike Tyson's uppercut, the boxing equivalent of a guillotine. If Foreman's short right was a wrecking ball, Tyson's uppercut was a trap door to the canvas. It was fast, violent, and thrown from hellish angles that opponents never saw coming. Tyson loved to sneak it in tight quarters, especially after slipping inside with that peekaboo head movement. One of its most famous victims? Buster Mathis Jr., who dropped like he'd been unplugged from the world after absorbing a picture-perfect uppercut. Tyson didn't just throw uppercuts, he launched them like missiles from underground silos. And when they landed, careers shifted, consciousness vanished, and legends were born. Rocky Marciano's right hand. Rocky Marciano's right hand, nicknamed Suzie Q, wasn't just a knockout punch, it was a nuclear option. Compact, crude, and utterly unforgiving, Marciano used it to compile an unbeaten 49-0 record, with 43 of those wins coming by knockout. Despite his short stature and unorthodox style, Rocky turned raw aggression and brutal conditioning into a weaponized overhand right that could end any fight at any moment. Just ask Jersey Joe Walcott, who was sent into unconscious freefall by a single right hand in 1952, losing his heavyweight title and gaining front-row seats to one of the most iconic knockouts in boxing history. Marciano didn't finesse you. He found you and flattened you. Sonny Liston's jab. Sonny Liston's jab was less of a rangefinder and more of a battering-ram. At 84 inches, his reach wasn't just long, it was oppressive. Most fighters use the jab to set up bigger punches. Liston? He used it to hurt you. His jab snapped heads back, broke noses, and killed momentum before it could start. Floyd Patterson barely saw anything beyond that piston-like lead hand in their two title fights. It kept him frozen, disoriented, and ready for the avalanche to follow. Liston's jab was a power punch in disguise, thrown like a statement, landed like a threat. Julian Jackson's right hand. Julian Jackson's right hand was divine punishment in motion. Nicknamed the Hawk, Jackson carried god-tier power, especially in that right glove. You didn't get second chances with Julian. If he clipped you, you were going down. His KO of Herol Graham is still considered one of the most chilling one-punch finishes ever. Graham was dominating until Jackson, nearly blind from swelling, landed a single right that turned the lights off instantly. Jackson didn't need a rhythm. He didn't need a plan B. He just needed one look, one crack, and one punch. Thomas Hearns' right cross. Thomas Hearns' right cross was pure liquid lightning, long, lethal, and devastatingly fast. Known as the Hitman, Hearns had that rare mix of pinpoint timing and freakish reach. When he let that right hand go, it came in like a sniper shot, straight, silent, and fatal. He famously dismantled Roberto Durán with a one-round destruction in 1984, ending the fight with a chilling right cross that folded the iron-chinned legend. Hearns didn't brawl, he executed. And the right cross was his executioner's tool. Roberto Durán's right hand. Roberto Durán's right hand was the street-born equalizer that made Hands of Stone a terrifying figure across 4 weight divisions. Known more for his pressure and ferocity, Durán's right hand was deceptively surgical, always delivered with bad intentions and scary accuracy. It was the punch that punished, discouraged, and ultimately broke down his opponents. Against Ken Buchanan and Iran Barkley alike, Durán's right wasn't just a shot, it was a declaration of war. Every time it landed, it spoke volumes about who controlled the ring. Deontay Wilder's right hand. Wilder's right hand is the modern gold standard for destructive punching power. Slingshot fast and delivered from unpredictable angles, Wilder's right doesn't just end fights, it rewrites reality. Luis Ortiz, Artur Szpilka, Dominic Breazeale all learned the hard way that no matter how the fight is going, if Wilder lands the right, it's game over. Even in fights where he's losing, like against Ortiz or Tyson Fury, the first bout, one clean right hand from the Bronze Bomber and the narrative shifts in a millisecond. It's a cheat code in boxing gloves, raw, unrefined, and unrelenting. Gennady Golovkin's left hook. Gennady Golovkin's left hook is precision violence at its finest. GGG doesn't waste punches, and when that left hook digs in, especially to the body, it sounds like someone cracking wood with a hammer. Just ask Matthew Macklin, who crumpled in agony after Golovkin drove a body shot into his liver like he was trying to snap him in half. Whether upstairs or downstairs, GGG's hook is a tactical nuke, methodically placed, expertly delivered, and brutally effective. It's not flash, it's physics. Sergey Kovalev's right hand. Sergey Kovalev's right hand was once the most feared weapon at light heavyweight. Nicknamed the Crusher, Kovalev used his straight right like a wrecking ball, flattening contenders and champions alike. His 3 knockdowns of Bernard Hopkins, an iron-chinned legend, cemented the punch's legacy. Even in fights where his skills slipped, that right hand remained a constant threat. Kovalev didn't dance, he stalked, and the right was his hammer of justice. Joe Louis' right cross. Joe Louis' right cross was poetry in violence. Fluid, textbook and unfailingly lethal, it was the kind of punch you could study in slow motion or admire in real time. Lewis wasn't wild, he was precise, with an economy of motion that delivered maximum impact. His destruction of Max Schmeling in their 1938 rematch remains one of boxing's most patriotic and punishing beatdowns, much of it delivered courtesy of that surgical right cross. With Louis, timing and technique turned that right hand into a national weapon. Jack Dempsey's left hook. Jack Dempsey's left hook was as raw and animalistic as boxing gets. Dempsey fought like he was trying to survive a street fight, and his left hook was his moneymaker. It came looping, brutal, and fast, often from crouched positions where opponents didn't see it until it was too late. His demolition of Jess Willard in 1919 was one of the most savage, one-sided beatdowns in heavyweight history, and that hook was at the heart of it. If Dempsey hit you clean with it, you would stay hit. Manny Pacquiao's left hand. Manny Pacquiao's left hand is perhaps the most unorthodox wrecking tool in modern boxing. Fast, looping, and often delivered from awkward angles, it has stunned and stopped legends from Barrera to Hatton. What makes Pacquiao's left so dangerous isn't just speed or power, it's timing and unpredictability. You think he's off balance or out of range, and then, bam, it crashes in with explosive force. That left hand helped him climb 8 weight divisions and turn speed into a weapon of mass destruction. Nigel Benn's right hand. Nigel Benn's right hand was the embodiment of his nickname, the Dark Destroyer. Wild, unhinged, and packed with venom, Benn's right hand had one mission: violence. He wasn't trying to box you. He wanted to destroy you. His 1990 war with Iran Barkley ended in 3 rounds, all thanks to the thunder Benn unleashed. Every time he threw the right, it was like swinging a wrecking bar. No finesse, just fury. David Tua's left hook. David Tua's left hook was short, savage, and terrifying. The Samoan powerhouse could end a fight in a heartbeat with one tight shot inside. John Ruiz found out in 19 seconds. Michael Moorer never made it past the first round. Tua didn't rely on build-up. He relied on sudden impact. His hook wasn't just a punch. It was a trap door opening beneath your feet. Once it landed, the fight was over. Full stop. Wladimir Klitschko's straight right. Wladimir Klitschko's straight right was robotic in delivery but catastrophic in effect. With his jab setting the stage, Klitschko would unleash that straight right down the pipe with sniper-like precision. Fighters would hesitate after feeling it once and crumble if they felt it again. Klitschko's formula was simple: control the pace, set the range, and launch the right hand like a guided missile. It was clinical, cold, and painfully effective. Lennox Lewis right uppercut. Lennox Lewis's right uppercut came with the height, reach, and timing of a true heavyweight craftsman. Often hidden behind the jab or delivered in the clinch, it was the punch that ruined Michael Grant and helped Lewis dismantle the best of his era. It wasn't always flashy, but when it landed, it was ruinous. A perfectly timed uppercut from Lewis could change a fight and a fighter's career in a heartbeat. Vitali Klitschko's right hand. Klitschko's right hand was the pillar of his iron-fisted dominance. Unlike his brother Vladimir's cleaner technique, Vitali's right hand was rawer, more thudding than snappy, but just as effective. He punished opponents with it round after round until they wilted. There was nothing flashy about it, just cold, methodical destruction. He didn't rely on the perfect shot. He broke you down with consistency. And when that right hand landed flush, it was the beginning of the end. Boxing's history is littered with legends, but these punches made sure certain names would echo forever. One shot, one moment, one perfectly placed punch. That's all it takes to go from fighter to myth. Whether it was a right hand that ended the night or a hook that sent shockwaves through the sport, each of these weapons left a trail of shattered dreams and unforgettable knockouts. And the beauty of boxing? The next iconic punch is always just one swing away. Stay tuned, because the next chapter in violence could be written any round now.